1969 was a golden year for classic cars, with muscle cars and luxury vehicles dominating the market. Here are 10 of the best cars from that year. The 1969 AMC AMX was a unique and underrated muscle car that stood out with its compact design, strong performance, and affordability. Unlike most muscle cars, it was a two-seater, giving it a distinct identity. Its shorter wheelbase and lighter weight provided an excellent power-to-weight ratio, making it a strong performer on both street and track. AMC positioned it as a more affordable rival to the Chevrolet Corvette, offering serious performance without the hefty price tag. The AMX's 390 cubic inch V8 produced 315 horsepower, enabling a 0 to 60 miles per hour time of around 6.5 seconds. It featured a rigid chassis, quality suspension, and customization options like the Go package, which added upgraded suspension and power disc brakes. This made the AMX a true driver's car, blending power with agility. Though AMC was smaller than the Big Three, the AMX carved out a niche, gaining recognition from land speed record holder Craig Breedlove and competing in drag racing and SCCA events. Though only produced from 1968 to 1970, the AMX remains a highly sought-after classic, celebrated for its bold design, impressive performance, and rarity. The 1969 Oldsmobile 442 was a powerful yet refined muscle car that combined luxury with high performance. Originally an option package for the Cutlass, it became a standalone model in 1968, establishing itself as a serious competitor. The 442 stood for a 4-barrel carburetor, 4-speed manual transmission, and dual exhaust, though automatics were available. Its bold grille, sculpted body lines, and optional W30 package gave it an aggressive and commanding presence. Powered by a 400 cubic inch V8 with 350 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque, the 442 could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 6.0 seconds. The W30 package added a hotter camshaft and forced air induction, boosting output to 360 horsepower. Unlike many muscle cars, the 442 handled well, thanks to a heavy-duty suspension, stabilizer bars, and an optional limited slip differential, making it both fast and well-balanced. Beyond speed, the 442 offered a premium experience with high-quality materials, bucket seats, and luxury options like air conditioning and an 8-track player. Competing with the Chevelle SS and Pontiac GTO, the 442 stood out for its mix of power, comfort, and everyday drivability. Today, it remains a highly sought-after classic, representing one of Oldsmobile's finest muscle cars. The 1969 Mercury Cougar Eliminator was a bold entry into the muscle car segment, blending luxury, aggressive styling, and raw power. As the top-tier Cougar, it was designed to compete with the Mustang Boss 302 while offering more refinement. Its bold stripes, blacked-out grille, rear spoiler, and Eliminator badging gave it a unique, commanding presence. With its sleek, muscular design and performance upgrades, the Eliminator became one of 1969's most stylish yet capable muscle cars. The Eliminator came standard with a Boss 302 V8, 290 horsepower, but offered more powerful options, including the 390 V8, 320 horsepower, 428 Cobra Jet, 335 horsepower, and the rare 427 V8, 390-plus horsepower. When equipped with the 428 Cobra Jet and Ram Air, it could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in under 6 seconds, making it one of the fastest muscle cars of its time. A competition-tuned suspension, stabilizer bars, and an optional drag pack enhanced both straight-line speed and handling, setting it apart from heavier rivals. Beyond performance, the Eliminator featured a refined interior with wood grain trim, comfort options like air conditioning, and an upgraded gauge cluster. While often overshadowed by the Mustang, the Eliminator remains a sought-after classic, celebrated for its rarity, unique styling, and balance of power and sophistication. The 1969 Shelby GT500 was one of the most powerful and aggressive Mustangs ever built under Carroll Shelby's legendary brand. Unlike earlier, race-focused Shelby Mustangs, the 69 GT500 combined brute power with a grand touring feel. It featured an elongated front end, wide body stance, and functional ram air hood scoop, giving it a menacing presence. Shelby's signature touches, including body striping, a fiberglass hood with NACA ducts, and sequential taillights, set it apart from standard Mustangs. Powering the GT500 was a 428 Cobra Jet V8, officially rated at 335 horsepower and 440 pound-feet of torque, though real-world output was closer to 400 horsepower. Paired with either a 4-speed manual or 3-speed automatic, it accelerated from 0 to 60 miles per hour in the mid-5-second range and ran the quarter-mile in about 13.9 seconds. The Ram air induction system boosted performance, while a heavy-duty suspension, sway bars, and power-assisted brakes made it a well-rounded performer for both speed and handling. Inside, the GT500 offered premium features, including high-back bucket seats, wood-grain trim, a roll bar with shoulder harnesses, and a Shelby-exclusive console with auxiliary gauges. As Carroll Shelby's partnership with Ford neared its end, the 1969 model became one of the last true Shelby Mustangs. Today, it remains highly collectible, valued for its raw power, aggressive styling, and blend of muscle and luxury. The 1969 Chevrolet Corvette Stingray, C3, was a bold evolution of America's most iconic sports car, combining aggressive styling with high performance. Inspired by the Mako Shark 2 concept, it featured bold fender flares, a long hood, and a sleek Coke bottle shape. The 1969 model improved on the previous year with better interior ergonomics, higher build quality, and the return of the Stingray name. Pop-up headlights, removable T-tops, and a performance-focused chassis made it a standout in both style and capability. The 1969 Corvette offered a range of powerful V8 engines, from the base 350, 300 horsepower, to the legendary L88 427, which was officially rated at 430 horsepower but likely produced over 500 horsepower. With a 427 equipped model, the Corvette could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in just over 5 seconds and complete the quarter mile in the low 13-second range. Performance-focused buyers could opt for a 4-speed manual transmission, heavy-duty suspension, and side-exit exhausts, making it feel like a race car for the streets. What set the 1969 Corvette Stingray apart was its balance of muscle car power and sports car handling. Unlike straight-line focused muscle cars, the Corvette featured independent rear suspension, 4-wheel disc brakes, and precise steering. Inside, its aircraft-inspired gauges and driver-focused layout enhanced the grand touring experience. Competing with European exotics like the Jaguar E-Type and Porsche 911, the Corvette remained America's top high-performance sports car. Today, the 1969 big block models, especially the L88, are among the most valuable classic Corvettes. The 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner 446 barrel was a raw, no-nonsense muscle car built for speed. Originally designed as a budget-friendly performance car, the 1969 model took things further with the 6-barrel package, making it a true drag strip warrior. While it kept the playful beep-beep horn and Roadrunner badging, its aggressive stance, bold hood scoops, and wide body design made it clear that this car was all about power. At its heart was the 446-barrel V8, rated at 390 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, though real figures were likely higher. Using triple Holley 2-barrel carburetors, it delivered instant throttle response. Paired with a 4-speed manual or TorqueFlite automatic, the 6-barrel Roadrunner could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.3 seconds and run the quarter mile in the mid-13s. Plymouth reinforced the suspension, rear axle, and gearing for maximum performance, while the fiberglass lift-off hood and massive scoop reduced weight and added to its menacing look. What made the Roadrunner 446-barrel special was its balance of affordability, power, and attitude. Unlike pricier muscle cars, it kept things stripped down and lightweight, focusing purely on speed. Competing with Chevelle SS396 and GTO, it became a street and drag racing legend. Today, it's one of the most sought-after Mopar classics, known for its brutal performance and golden-era muscle car legacy. The 1969 Pontiac GTO Judge was one of the most iconic muscle cars of its era, blending bold styling, serious horsepower, and rebellious attitude. Introduced as a response to budget-friendly muscle cars like the Plymouth Roadrunner, the Judge quickly evolved into a high-performance, attention-grabbing GTO variant. Its signature carousel red paint, bold stripes, rear spoiler, and the Judge decals made it instantly recognizable, while Ram air hood scoops and an aggressive stance signaled that it was built for speed. Inspired by a comedy skit from Rowan and Martin's Laugh In, its name added a playful yet dominant edge to its personality. At its core, the Judge packed the 400 cubic inch Ram Air 3 V8, producing 366 horsepower and 445 pound-feet of torque. For those craving more power, the Ram Air 4 upgrade pushed output closer to 400 horsepower, with high-flow exhaust manifolds, a quad-barrel carburetor, and an aggressive camshaft. This setup launched the Judge from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.2 seconds and sent it down the quarter-mile in the low 13ths. A heavy-duty suspension, wider tires, and an optional 4-speed manual transmission gave it exceptional performance, both on the street and at the drag strip. What set the GTO Judge apart was its perfect balance of power, exclusivity, and personality. While the standard GTO was already a powerhouse, the Judge added bold styling and upgraded performance, making it stand out from its competitors. Unlike muscle cars that focused purely on brute force, Pontiac gave the Judge balanced handling, a comfortable interior, and optional luxury features. Though its production run was short, it became one of the most desirable collector cars, cementing its legacy as a true icon of the golden age of muscle cars. The 1969 Dodge Charger RT is one of the most legendary muscle cars, combining aggressive styling with powerful performance. As the high-performance version of Dodge's popular Charger, the RT package included a big block V8, heavy-duty suspension, and bold exterior upgrades. The 1969 model refined its design with a full-width grille, hidden headlights, and a revised taillight panel. Dodge also introduced the now iconic General Lee body style, later made famous in the Dukes of Hazzard. The Charger RT came standard with the 440 Magnum V8, producing 375 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. For even greater performance, Dodge offered the legendary 426 Hemi V8, officially rated at 425 horsepower but known for even higher real-world output. With the Hemi and a 4-speed manual, it could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.3 seconds and run the quarter-mile in 13.5 seconds. The RT package also added heavy-duty suspension, anti-sway bars, and upgraded brakes, making it a serious contender on the drag strip against lighter rivals like the Chevrolet Chevelle SS396 and Ford Mustang Mach-1. What set the 1969 Charger RT apart was its combination of power, size, and unmistakable presence. Unlike smaller muscle cars, the Charger embraced a full-size, high-performance approach, with a fastback-style roofline and aggressive stance. Inside, it featured a driver-focused cockpit with bucket seats, wood-grain trim, and full performance gauges. Today, the 1969 Charger RT remains one of the most desirable classic muscle cars, especially in 426 Hemi form, cementing its status as one of the greatest Mopars of all time. The 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429 was built to homologate Ford's 429 cubic-inch V8 for NASCAR, making it one of the most extreme Mustangs ever. Unlike other high-performance Mustangs, the Boss 429 was engineered to fit a massive racing engine, requiring significant front-end modifications by Carcraft. The result was a widened engine bay, repositioned shock towers, and a lowered stance, giving it a distinct yet understated look. With subtle Boss 429 badging, a functional hood scoop, and Magnum 500 wheels, it was a true sleeper muscle car. Its semi-hemispherical 429 V8 was officially rated at 375 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque, though real output likely exceeded 500 horsepower. Featuring aluminum heads, a forged steel crankshaft, and a Holley 4-barrel carburetor, it was one of the most advanced factory big blocks of its time. Somewhat detuned for the street, minor modifications unlocked its full potential, achieving 0 to 60 miles per hour in around 5.1 seconds and a quarter mile in 13.6 seconds. A top-loader 4-speed manual, competition suspension, and 3.91:1 rear axle made it one of the most potent Mustangs ever. What set the Boss 429 apart was its rarity, engineering, and racing pedigree. Unlike the Mach-1 or Boss 302, it was a low-production, hand-built homologation special, with only 859 units made in 1969. One of the most expensive Mustangs of its time, it remains among the most collectible muscle cars, representing Ford's golden age pursuit of horsepower dominance. The 1969 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 was built for SCCA Trans Am racing while remaining a street-legal performance car. Unlike many muscle cars focused on brute horsepower, the Z28 prioritized handling and balance. The final first-generation Camaro featured sharper body lines, a revised grille, and a sportier stance. Standard with bold racing stripes, Z28 badging, and an optional cowl induction hood, it became one of the most recognizable and sought-after Camaros. Under the hood, the Z28 housed a high-revving 302 cubic inch V8, officially rated at 290 horsepower but actually producing over 350 horsepower. With a forged steel crankshaft, solid lifter camshaft, high-flow heads, and a Holley 4-barrel carburetor, it revved past 7,000 RPM. A Muncie 4-speed manual and a 12-bolt rear axle with a 3.73:1 ratio made it a true driver's car. Thanks to a performance-tuned suspension, quick ratio steering, and front disc brakes, the Z28 excelled on road courses. It hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in 6.7 seconds and ran the quarter mile in the high 14ths, but its real strength was cornering performance. What made the 1969 Z28 special was its blend of power, handling, and racing pedigree. Unlike most muscle cars of its era, it was engineered for track performance rather than just straight-line speed. With only 20,302 units built, it remains a rare and highly desirable classic. The 1969 Z28 is still celebrated as one of the greatest muscle cars ever, influencing modern performance Camaros to this day. From the high-revving Camaro Z28 to the monstrous Boss 429, the legendary Hemi-powered Mopars, and the raw attitude of the Judge, these 10 muscle cars defined an era of unfiltered American performance. Each one left its mark on history, whether dominating the drag strip, tearing up the road course, or becoming pop culture icons. Today, they remain some of the most sought-after classics, a testament to an era where horsepower ruled and style was just as important as speed. Which of these muscle cars is your favorite? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more legendary rides and automotive history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.